Holy crud, I love my pen. I love my pen so much that I'm going to dedicate this entire pen mother to my pen. An ode to my fountain pen. And why that matters to you as a writer. Stick with me on this one. Here it is. Whenever I show this pen to people, the first thing they say is that it's so small. It's a lady's pen. It's a pen designed for delicate feminine fingers, which I do not have. I suppose it could also be designed to be compact and easy to carry everywhere, but I like the thought that it was just made for tiny fingers. Did I mention that I don't have tiny fingers? I don't. But you see, when you put the cap on the back of this pen, it also becomes kind of a standard pen length, so my long mannish hands can still relish this pen. It's sterling silver, and it was made in Italy by the Lalex company, which is no longer in business. It has the prettiest pattern engraved on it. I know you can't see it. And it takes those conventional international cartridges that you can order in bulk in any color you could ever want. I'm partial to green, purple, midnight blue, and brown. My husband gave me this little pen before I went off for a month to Paris, France. We weren't married yet or even engaged. I was ready for an adventure, so I decided to traipse off to Europe on my own and live in Paris for a month. April, as a matter of fact, and yes, I decided to spend April in Paris because of the song. But my then boyfriend wanted me to record my travels, so he gave me this pen and a little journal. I didn't end up keeping the journal, but I kept the pen. It broke for a while. The nib leaked badly, and no one seemed able to fix it or even to be able to find a replacement nib. I spent years trying to find a pen store to help me. I searched the internet. I would look up pen stores when I would travel for work, and I would show up there to see if anyone could fix my pen. No dice. Finally, after years of fruitless searching, I found a company in the UK who carried replacement nibs for my pen. I ordered 2 just in case they ever went out of business. So when I was able to use my pen again after several years of not, I felt as if my arm had been reattached. Okay, so what is the point of all of this? Why does a silly little fountain pen warrant such a story? A couple of reasons. First, each of us in our lives has an item like my fountain pen. I had an acting teacher once who called them endowed objects. They are loaded with feelings and history and stories and smells and sights and sounds. It may just be a pen, but to me it is also Paris and my husband and my writing and my struggle to write. This pen holds all of those stories and feelings in its silver. What is an endowed object of yours? What endowed objects belong to your heroes and villains? What do those objects mean? What feelings do they conjure? Second, my pen is a signal to me. I use it when I'm outlining and planning because I prefer to do that in longhand. I also use it to write in my journal every day. So when I pick up my fountain pen, I know that it is time to write. Opening my pen and hearing the little click when I put the cap on the back signals my brain that it's time to behave in a very particular way. It creates a Pavlovian response that opens up my creativity and my ingenuity and my writer mind. Now listen, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do anything I suggest, ever. But if you are so inclined, I highly recommend going out and finding yourself a pen. One that feels good in your hand and is beautiful and that glides across the paper like a dance. Find a good pen and then take it on a bunch of adventures. Hike to the top of a mountain and write about the view. Take it to the airport and write about the humanity coming and going. Wander your favorite city. Gaze out your back window. Create a history around your pen. Of course, you don't need a pen or anything for that matter to be creative. But there's a certain joy in sitting down with an object that is full of history and love, and then making something wonderful with it. That is the power of an endowed object. That is the joy of a good pen.